Hey, what's up? I'm the Godfather Soldiers from Swimming, and name my topic tonight is called Bedlam, Brutal, and Bullshit in Brooklyn, New York. What does the rest of fall 2025 bring? I'm Godfather Soldiers and so much shit. Terrible show tonight. Monday Night Raw. Terrible show tonight. So much to say. I'm not gonna open up with any more any music tonight because tonight's WWE makes me sick. Then now to Forever Together, the WWE leads us into the show. Highlights from Summer Scam Saturday and Summer Scam Sunday are shown. At Summer Scam Saturday, CM Punk defeated Gunther to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Then Seth Rollins returned, having successfully faked an injury for nearly a month and cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, and I knew it too, to immediately beat Punk for the title at Summer Scam Sunday. Cody Rhodes defeated John Cena to win the undisputed World's Worst Entertainment Championship after Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE after Cena attacked Cena with an F5. Yeah, I was pissed about that, man. How many times we're gonna see that shit? Cena versus this crap. Cena versus Lesnar again. Cena was just close to about retiring, and bam, he comes back. Now we're gonna have Cena once again. We're gonna have another Cena and Lesnar feud again. I mean, what was this? The Ruthless Aggression era now again? This is just crap. Pre-show rivals. WWE Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are shown arriving together. Raw Women's World Champion Naomi is shown walking backstage. WWE Joan then flies out into the Barclays Center. It is packed. Seth Rollins celebrates the rules of the century. He had a piece of the asshole. Had everyone fooled. Burn it down. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins comes out in a very celebratory mood. He is joined by WWE Hall of Famer, the asshole Paul Heyman, as well as Braun Breaker and Big piece of shit Bronson Reed. Reed has Roman Reigns sneakers tied around his neck. They get in the ring and Rollins embraces Heyman in the center of the ring, the crowd loudly singing Rollins' song. Rollins poses in the center of the ring, and as the center of the ring as the music ends, the CM Punk chant picks up. Heyman says, "Ladies and gentlemen." The crowd boos him. Heyman continues, "My name is Paul Heyman. Let's be clear about the evidence that is before you. I am the GOAT. I am not just the greatest of all time. I am your humble oracle. Humbled by the fact that I stand here tonight in the presence of the future of the WWE. The big dog patrols our yard, Braun Breaker. Crowd barks for Breaker. Heyman says, humbled by the fact that I stand here tonight in the same ring as Tribal Chief, the owner of the Shula Fala, Big Bronson Reed. Reed smiles and poses. Heyman says, now at this point I will be introducing you to the champ, the OTC Roman Reigns. An OTC champ picks up. Heyman says, but Roman Reigns hasn't been champion for a year and a half now, has he? I will be standing here and introducing you, the champion of the world, the best in the world, CM Punk. The CM Punk chant picks up, but CM Punk wasn't champion long enough for them to put side plates on the belt. Or you were all part of it on Saturday night. Not only did CM Punk have one of the greatest title matches in history with Gunther, but there he was thanking you for chanting his name, bringing him back to WWE after a decade. CM Punk thought he would be married to that title forever, but he wasn't because of, not only did Seth Rollins was crashing a wedding, he stole a honeymoon with the title, and she was good. His wife is a bitch. Referring to Becky. Heyman says it's time to do this properly. Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending, undisputed World Heavyweight Champion of the world, Seth freaking Rollins. The crowd loudly boos. Rollins smiles, and the crowd that was booing moments ago started to sing his thing. Rollins shouts, "Shame, Brooklyn, shame on you." The crowd boos. "Shame on every single one of you who turned your back on me after I won the main event of WrestleMania." Whatever, you piece of shit, you motherfucker, you had everyone fooled. Shame on, yeah, he says, "Shame on every single one of you who for months taunted me with your chance of CM Punk." Another CM Punk chant picks up. "Shame on every single one of you who months have taunted me with the chance of OTC. Here's a lesson: never doubt Seth freaking Rollins again." How about Seth asshole Rollins? Again, Rollins asks if Roman Reigns is the World Heavyweight Champion. Number one is CM Punk, the World Heavyweight Championship. No, Rollins is the World Heavyweight Champion. Rollins says, "Shame on every person who turned their back on him." Looking at, he says he's been a right man for months. Shame not just on those in the crowd and at home who are turning their back on him, but shame on every single person in the locker room who made it a mission to stop him from cashing his Money in the Bank contract. Please, Seth Rollins, this is not 2014, this is 2025, not 2014. So yeah, successfully cashing his Money in the Bank contract. Everyone back there thinks they're so smart. They think they're so clever they'll stop him from every single turn. Rollins reminds everyone that he always has a plan B. This plan B was top secret. He owed two people in the entire world. One is beautiful, incredible, intercontinental champion of a wife. Or no, I should say, how about your incredible intercontinental champion of a whore? Becky Lynch, he's talking about. The other is his Oracle. Together they have achieved what they have set out to achieve. They have absolute power. Rollins holds up the title. There is nobody who can stop them. This is the past, present, and future. This is the way forward. This is the vision. Hold on a second. Okay. Division, so they call themselves Division, huh? Whatever. LA Knight. LA Knight comes out to a huge ovation. LA Knight heads to the ring. The LA Knight chant picks up. Knight congratulates Rollins, Heyman, and the morons. Knight says, "Let me talk to you. He is not here for a fight, but he has a lot of questions." Seth Rollins had a Money in the Bank briefcase, so why would he have faking the injury? Knight has the answer. Rollins wasn't faking the injury to get the title. Rollins was faking the injury to get something else. Going to Saturday night's main event, he said he would want to take Rollins' dignity and hurt him. Rollins faked the injury and Knight didn't get to hurt him like he wanted to. Rollins took the BFT and Knight got the pin. And that's where things get interesting. Rollins has pulled the wool over pulled the wool so far over people's eyes that he blinded himself. Even the Oracle didn't see this coming. Knight took some time off and now turned to Summer Scam. Summer Scam. Knight said he had to get to Brooklyn. Now he's here. He wants to remind Rollins that he was the last one to beat him and will be the next one to beat him. The only difference is that Rollins has given him the ammunition. Knight still wants to hurt him. Now he can hurt him worse than he could ever have. When he beats Rollins, he will take the World Heavyweight Championship off him, giving him the people another short reign. There's no better place here than no better time than now. Rollins says LA Knight has some guts coming into his ring to challenge him for the World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins asks Knight if he thinks he doesn't have the guts or balls. Rollins gets the crowd going for the World Heavyweight Championship and says no. Rollins and Vision walk off on him. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce comes out to the stage. Pearce has a few things to get off his chest. Normally, he would not make a World Heavyweight Championship match with a promotion, zero promotion. Normally, a WWE superstar wouldn't have his medical term lie on his medical team after next week. Normally, with a World Heavyweight Champion would lie to his general manager or WWE. What he's saying is to hell with normal. It'll be Seth freaking Rollins versus LA Knight. It'll be for the World Heavyweight Championship. Pearce, this is his favorite part. It will be tonight in Brooklyn. Since Rollins stole a great moment from the people at SummerSlam, it's not fair that he steals something from Rollins. Braun Breaker and Bronson are banned from ringside. All of that is final. Bronson's backstage segment. Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dummy is walking with the Judgment Day backstage after what he did to AJ Styles. It was never a great way to celebrate his 20 years. Finn Balor says they never doubted him. Balor asked Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez how they're holding up. They said they are going to regroup. Mysterio sees the LWO and asks what they are doing in his hallway. Dragon Lee challenges Mysterio to a match. Mysterio agrees. AJ Styles walks up to Mysterio, so Balor and JD McDonagh get close to him. Styles says he's not going to slap Mysterio around yet. What Mysterio's did last night was clever. He's coming after the Intercontinental Championship. As long as Mysterio has it. Mysterio has coming from him. There are many tricks, so many tricks that he can have. Time's running out. Mysterio says, "Yeah, time's running out because you're getting old." Oh, you got a big mouth, don't you? Don't you, dum-dum? In the arena, Rusev makes his entrance. He'll be famous facing Sheamus next. Then we see a commercial break. The cast of Wednesday is shown at ringside. We also see Joe Budden enjoying the show. Rusev versus Sheamus. The match starts right now. Referee is Rod Zapata. Sheamus charges the ring and Rusev starts immediately punching him. The match starts as Rusev punches away at him in the corner. Sheamus turns him around, lays in some punches to the midsection. Rusev tackles him and punches him in the head. Sheamus rolls him over and punches him. Rusev kicks him away, kicks him and sends him into the ropes. Sheamus blocks a hip toss and he's a short arm clothesline. Sheamus walks around and waits for Rusev to get up before hitting a clothesline over the top rope. Sheamus goes to the apron and leaps, but Rusev kicks him in midair. Rusev then whips him into the barricade. Rusev then rolls him into the ring and taunts the crowd. Rusev charges, but Sheamus boots him back. Sheamus grabs the arm and goes to the second rope. but Rusev pulls him down and hits an over-the-head belly-to-belly suplex. Sheamus holds his back in pain, so Rusev hits a sliding shoulder tackle to the spine. Rusev kicks Sheamus down and poses. Rusev drops an elbow, but inclines with the spine before choking him out with his boot. Rusev stands him up and hits an uppercut. Sheamus responds with a forearm. They trade strikes before Rusev knees him in the midsection, dropping Celtic Warrior to his knees. Rusev heads to the top rope, but Sheamus cuts him off with some punches to the midsection. Sheamus powers up Rusev up on the second rope and hits an avalanche white noise. Then we go to commercial break. Back from the break, we see Rusev kicking away at Sheamus' chest. Sheamus smiles and he absorbs the blows and asks for more. Sheamus cannot believe it. Rusev continues to kick him. Sheamus feeds off the pain. Sheamus blocks a kick and punches away at Rusev before hitting a Irish Curse backbreaker. Sheamus sends Rusev to the apron and sets up for a 10 beats of Boulder round, but Rusev snaps him off the top rope. Sheamus tries to surprise him with a bro kick. He gets hung up on the top rope when Rusev moves. Sheamus grabs him for the 10 beats of Boulder round, but Rusev slings him into the ring post. Sheamus falls to the ground. Rusev goes to the outside of the attack, but Sheamus lifts him up and slams him to the commentary table. Sheamus rolls into the ring to break the referee's count. Sheamus goes to the outside to grab Rusev, but Rusev drives him off the steel ring steps. Sheamus leans against the barricade and drops Rusev into the crowd. Rusev pops up and grabs him, starting 10 beats of Boulder round. He stops when the crowd starts counting. Sheamus gathers him into a huge ovation and beats him down with the 10 beats of Boulder round, but he goes further away than that. They are counted out. Double count out. Referees and WWE officials, referees run down to separate them, and they continue to brawl. Rusev is furious and kicks over the steps before crackling Sheamus with them. Rusev grabs the shillelagh, but Sheamus floors him with a bro kick. They continue to brawl at ringside before being pulled apart. They fight through and go back to brawling at ringside to a huge ovation. Rusev and Sheamus have a crazy look in their eyes. We see a video. Earlier today, the New Day are still in mourning and was approached by Grayson Waller. Waller asked where they were last week before realizing they were letting him learn a lesson. Waller says that's what family does. Kofi Kingston are still in mourning. Xavier Woods says they look like the perfect chocolate decadence, but they can't get themselves in the right state of mind, especially against Sheamus. They need their titles to get back and get emotional. It's all Adam Pearce's fault. Waller sees General Manager Adam Pearce. And Waller angrily approaches him. Pearce was talking with Penta. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Waller sees General Manager Adam Pearce, and Waller angrily hold on a second. Okay. Hold on a second. Wall sees trying to see where Wall sees Grayson Myers and Aaron Pierce, and Wall angrily approaches him. Pierce was talking with Penta. Wall demands that the New Day get a tag team match. Pierce says they will get a title shot when they earn it. Meanwhile, he and Penta were just talking about a match, so Wall has earned that. Pierce and Penta walk off. The New Day asks how it went. Waller says that Pierce didn't give him a date for them. In the arena, Penta makes his entrance. He'll battle Grayson Waller next. During the commercial break on Netflix, the late Hulk Hogan was shown doing his Real American Beer commercial. I'm surprised they didn't pull that from the rotation. Yeah, that made me sad. Yeah, that was Hulk Hogan's the last thing Hulk Hogan did was that Real American Beer commercial this year. Man, we missed dearly. This past weekend, 722 people attended Summer Scam over two nights. Two nights, yeah. Penta versus Grayson Waller. Referee is Eddie Orengo. Eddie Orengo. The bell rings and they circle the ring before locking up. Waller shows Penta aside and taunts him. They lock up and Penta hooks a wrist lock. Waller sidesteps him, steps ahead, a side headlock, and taunts him more. Waller hooks a side headlock and clinches it in. Waller pushes him off, drops down, and does the leapfrog. Waller drops down again, but Penta puts the brakes on and casually walks on him. Penta ducks a clothesline and hits a hurricanrana that sends Waller out of the ring. The New Day music hits, and Kofi and Xavier Woods walk out to the ringside arena. Woods is mourning that his ridiculously huge. Waller's excited and goes for a high five, but they walk by him. Waller gets in the ring and knocks Waller back. Waller avoids a slingshot dropkick, pulls Penta out of the ring and bounces him off the commentary table. Waller gets in the ring, hits the rope, slides out of the ring, and clotheslines Penta at ringside. Then we go to commercial break. New Day joins the commentary team. They are depressed. Back from the break, Waller knees Penta in the face. Penta soon kicks him in the face and knee. Back from the break, back from the break, Waller knees Penta face. Penta soon kicks him in the face and knee. Penta hits the ropes with hits a reverse sling blade, followed by a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Penta kicks him down in the corner and hits a springboard slingshot drop kick. Penta picks a 2 count. Waller soon fights back and hits a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Waller sits out on the second rope and hits a springboard elbow drop. Penta avoids it and rolls him up for a 2 count. Penta goes for a Penta driver, but Waller gets out. Penta lights him up with a super kick. So Waller responds with a super kick. They trade knees for hitting a double clothesline. Yeah. Yeah. Both men are down. Waller rolls up the apron and stamps Penta off the top rope. Waller goes for a Rolling Thunder movie, but Penta kicks him. Penta charges in the corner. Waller tries to dump him on the apron. Penta does a handspring and snaps him down for a Mexican Destroyer to pick up the win. Winning by pinfall, Penta. Penta celebrates the ring before being confronted by Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Kingston checks on Waller. Waller gets in Penta's face, so he shoves him into Kingston. They all retreat from the ring as Penta puts Woods' ridiculous hat on. Penta throws it like a frisbee at them before hitting him with a Somerset senton. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are walking backstage. All of a sudden, Sheamus and Rusev drive each other into some road crates. They're still brawling. WWE officials run over to break them up. Flair and Bliss basically ignore it and keep walking. Charlotte Flair talks about her love of the business on WWE Unreal. Yeah, I don't know why they brought it back. So I don't know. Yeah, Lex can't trust Charlotte Flair. MC commercial break. Last night at SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar made his shocking return to WWE. Lesnar came out after John Cena wrestled a nearly 40-minute main event match against Cody Rhodes and hit him with an F5. Brock Lesnar's return received 75 million social media views within 12 hours. Michael Cole says he sat down with WWE President Nick Khan and WWE CEO CC, WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H. Cole asked when it was decided that Brock Lesnar will return. They said they will reach out Lesnar a month ago, and they said it was time for him to come home. Lesnar agreed. John Cena will be out back on SmackDown from Montreal this Friday to address Lesnar's attack. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss addressed their victory at Summer Scam. It's unbelievable. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss make their way to the ring. They grab their microphones. A light, "You Deserve It" chant picks up. I don't think this is Yeah, I'm telling you, Alexa Bliss needs to beware. Because Charlotte Flair doesn't care about her and Alexa Bliss being women's tag team champions. All she cares about is herself and trying and getting everything she wants to her on a silver platter. Flair says she might be the first usurper champ of her career. After SummerSlam feels amazing to be champ again. Bliss says we are the champions again. Flair says it does feel nice to do something as we instead of me. If Bliss stops hitting her in the head, maybe they can be whatever. Flair doesn't want to put a label on it. Bliss asks what she going to say. The crowd starts to buzz. Bliss said she was going to say the F word. Bliss says Bliss is a pain in an ass. Ass word. In her ass word. Bliss says Flair is stuck with her. They start to go over their career achievements. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez at Judgment Day interrupt them. Rodriguez wonders who would want to be friends with Flair. Perez says no one cares about them being friends. Perez says no one cares about them being friends. All that matters is bringing all the gold back to the Judgment Day. They get in the ring. Rodriguez says they understand what they may not get a rematch, but they're here to take the titles back anyway. Bliss says that was quick. She asks Flair if she's thinking what they're thinking. Flair thinks they'll put the titles on the line and kick their A-words right here and now in Brooklyn. Raw general manager Adam Pearce comes out to booze. Pearce tells them to take a breath. They are in Brooklyn, New York. As he said earlier, normally a title match takes some time to put together. Tonight isn't normal. The match is official and starts right now. Women's Tag Team Championship, the Queen Sharbot, Alexa Bliss versus Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, referee Jessica Carr. We join this match in progress. Raquel Rodriguez knocks Alexa Bliss down a few times before taking Roxanne Perez in. Perez stomps Bliss and puts her on the ropes. Perez chokes Bliss on the ropes before bouncing her off the top turnbuckle. Perez taunts the crowd. Bliss bounces Perez off the turnbuckles and hits a head scissor takeover. Bliss knees her in the midsection and tags Charlotte Flair in. Perez sends Bliss into Flair and punches away at her. Perez hits the ropes and Flair clotheslines her down. Rodriguez tags in and they lock up. And Rodriguez elbows her. Rodriguez absorbs a shoulder tackle and connects with a shoulder tackle. Flair fights back, but Rodriguez elbows her. Flair quickly knees her in the face and goes for a second rope. A flying hair ground. Flair takes Rodriguez down with a shoulder tackle. Rodriguez blocks a vertical suplex and drives her head first into the turnbuckle. Perez tags in and kicks away at Flair's ribs. Perez sends her to the corner, but Flair rolls up the turnbuckles a la her father. Flair kicks Rodriguez away and knocks Perez back. Rodriguez grabs the ankle, so Perez kicks Flair down to the floor. Perez hits a suicide dive and gets Flair back in the ring. Perez drives Flair into their corner and stomps her down. Rodriguez tags in. There is a big delay. Flair takes Perez and Rodriguez down with chop blocks. Bliss tags in. They hit a stereo basement of blockbusters for a 2 count. Bliss strikes away at Perez and drop kicks her out of the ring. Bliss goes to the apron for a cannonball, but Rodriguez catches her. Rodriguez drives her into the timekeeper's area, ribs first, and boots her back. The Judge of the Day poses. We return to the break from the break to see Rodriguez stop Bliss from making a tag. Bliss side steps in attack, hits a side like DDT. Flair tags in and hits Rodriguez and Perez with a cross-body block. Flair starts chopping them down to loud woos. Flair ducks a clothesline and does a front walkover into a clothesline. Flair big boots Rodriguez before hitting Perez with a fallaway slam. Flair kicks up and steps on them before heading to the top rope. Flair hits them with a moonsault and covers Rodriguez for a 2 count. Soon fights back and tags Perez. Flair attacks Rodriguez and Perez attacks. Perez and Rodriguez hit a boot to side sweep leg to a 2 count. Perez angrily punches away at Flair and taunts the crowd. The crowd is silent. Perez clicks Flair and goes for pop rocks, but Flair gets out. Perez punches her and hits an STO into the turnbuckles. Flair then celebrates Rodriguez off the apron. Flair goes to the second rope and grabs Perez. Perez knocks her off the ropes. Perez hits a super Corona and tags Rodriguez in. Rodriguez hits a slingshot corkscrew elbow 1-2. Bliss breaks it up. Perez tags back in, but Flair kicks her back. Flair puts Perez on the apron and knocks Rodriguez out of the ring. Referee Jessica Carr gets an instruction from the back and tells Flair to tag Bliss. Carr was pretty emphatic, so they really must be short on time. Bliss is tagged in. Perez knocks them out of the ring and charges, but Bliss intercepts and hits his sister Abigail for the win. Wins by pinfall, still WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Queen Bitch Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. This was terrible. This was pretty crappy right here. This match. Yeah, the promo was terrible, and before having a pretty boring match against the Judgment Day, the crowd was this was a terrible tag team match. Charlotte's gonna turn on Alexa. Just watch. Alexa can't trust her. Backstage segment. Io Sky is talking with the Kabuki Warriors. They're speaking in Japanese. For Sky says thanks but no thanks. Rhea Ripley walks over and asks to talk to Sky for a moment. Asuka tells Sky to talk to her friend. Ripley says she heard Sky and asked for a women's world title match. Sky says she didn't get pinned at SummerSlam. Ripley says she respects Sky as a former champion, so she needs to beat Naomi. Nothing will make Ripley happier than to beat her for the title. Sky says, Rhea, you are never going to beat me. Sky walks off and Ripley smirks. WWE Raw is presented by Snickers. We see Snickers running through the arena. Intercom champion Dirty Dum Dum heads to the ring. He'll battle Dragon Lee next. And commercial break. WWE SummerSlam is coming to Minneapolis, Minnesota next year, August the 1st and August the 2nd. There are accepting package donations now. Video headlines and photos are coming out of SummerSlam weekend. Video last night's SummerSlam Summer Scam. Bayley stopped Becky Lynch from using a crowbar on Lyra Valkyrie. Bayley accidentally hit Valkyrie with a chain wrap fist to give her Lynch the win. Then we see a backstage segment. Bayley is walking backstage. Lyra finds her and is furious with her. Valkyrie says she can never challenge. It's all her fault. Valkyrie says she can never challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship as long as Becky is champion. It's all her fault. Valkyrie says she needs to get out of this vortex. Neither of them is champion. They screwed up for each other, so they need to stay away from each other. Well, I don't blame. Yeah, Lyra. It's all Bayley's fault. Triple A, somehow Bayley's gonna turn heel on Becky. Triple A WrestleMania 33 is coming next week. Non-title match: Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum versus Dragon Lee. Then Lilio and Fabio. The bell rings and Mysterio slaps him. Lee fights back with some punches and clotheslines him over the top rope. Lee hits the ropes and hits a suicide dive. Lee stands on a barricade and poses. Lee punches him and sends him to the ring. Mysterio stumbles into the corner, so Lee punches him there. Lee hits 10 punches. Lee hits 10 punches, and Mysterio is out on his feet. Lee blocks a boot chops to the chest. Lee punches him down and hits a running Nick kick. Mysterio quickly snatches him off the rope, and Lee falls to the floor. Mysterio goes to the outside and chops the chest before rolling him into the ring. Mysterio hits a slingshot senton for a 2 count. Mysterio chokes Lee on the middle rope and goes for a 619, but Lee moves. Lee and Mysterio exchange strikes before Lee knocks him to the apron. Lee goes to the apron and blocks an attack from Mysterio. Lee lifts him, but Mysterio slides off and hits a DDT on the apron. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Lee elbows and kicks Mysterio's back. Lee hits a running kick, sweeps the feet, and hits a slingshot basement corner drop kick. Lee hits the ropes and hits a flying forearm for a 2 count. Lee goes for a powerbomb. Mysterio goes for powerbomb, but Mysterio fights out. Mysterio clutches the wrist before its wrist and springs off the top rope, but Lee kicks him out of midair before hitting a set-out powerbomb. 1-2, Mysterio kicks out. Lee sizes Mysterio up and heads to the top rope. Mysterio cuts him off and climbs to the top rope. Lee sweeps the feet. Mysterio tries to hold himself up, so Lee crushes him with a double stomp to the chest. El Grande Americano runs down to ringside to taunt Lee. Another El Grande Americano runs over and gets on the apron. Lee knocks the second one off the top rope, off the apron. And the third El Grande Americano gets on the apron. El Grande Americano number 3 punches Lee back. Mysterio boots Lee in the back of the head and picks up the win. Winning by pinfall, Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum. AJ Styles runs down to the ring. Mysterio tries to hit him with his boot like he did last night at SummerSlam, but Styles ducks. Mysterio retreats from the ring and retreats as Mysterio throws his boot at him. Mysterio backs up the ramp as Styles checks on Lee. Checks on Lee. Backstage interview. Jackie Redmond is backstage with Sami Zayn and asks how good it felt to prove Karrion Kross was wrong. Zayn says it's not about proving people wrong. People would have liked to see him use the pipe, but he won't choose not to. It would have felt good to use that pipe, but not who he is. This is about who he wants to be. Zayn wants to be a world champion. He'll do it, but he wants to do it the right way. Karrion Kross is in his rearview mirror. All of a sudden, Sheamus and Rusev bump into him as they continue to brawl. Zayn catches a stray shot. Though the official pulls everyone apart. Backstage segment. Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man whore Becky Lynch, is walking backstage. We'll hear from her next. Music commercial break. Man After Man is shown at ringside. We see rapper Dave East, Da Vinci, Adam Blackstone are also shown. Women's Intercontinental Champion, man whore Becky Lynch addresses what's next for her. Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man whore Becky Lynch, comes out to her new theme song. It says, "Ding dong, Lyra is gone." Lynch says Lyra Becky will get no more opportunities as the opportunity title as long as Lynch is gatekeeper of opportunities. While holding for her title for a long time, now is the time to open the floor to new competitors. These competitors must understand that they are stepping in the ring with the greatest wrestler of all time. And your old news. That will not be tonight. Physically, she's fine. Nikki Bella comes out to interrupt her. The WWE Women Hall of Famer gets in the ring and Lynch looks exasperated. Bella greets the crowd before agreeing with Lynch. Lynch is one of the greatest. Lynch says she is the greatest. Bella says she remembers thinking of Lynch had great potential when she met her. It was like superstars like Lynch that made her want to step away because the women's division was in great hands. Thanks to her. She says she always respected Bella. Bella says Lynch turned out to be such a disappointment. That's right. Lynch is confused. Bella says the same hands that left the division have stabbed everyone in the back. It's true. Lynch was supposed to be a razor generation, but instead she handcuffed him. Bella says this is the best the division has ever been. Why did Lynch come back? She could have stayed away. Why was Lynch that jealous, or was Hollywood not what she thought it would be? Lynch says she's a featured performer in Happy Gilmore 2. Yeah, it's too bad that yes. By the way, Becky, it's a good thing that Adam Sandler didn't tell you the price is wrong, bitch, which is what you are, a bitch, when he said it to the late Bob Barker. It was in the first Happy Gilmore, 1996. Yeah, Happy Gilmore 2 streaming on Netflix, the hottest movie of the summer. Lynch says Bella was on set, but her role got cut. Lynch says Lynch extends far beyond the ropes. Lynch got Bella cut. Bella says she's sick of this. Lynch is a liar like her husband. That's true. Yep. The difference is that they brought Seth Rollins' lies. No one buys Lynch's bullshit. Lynch is the same insecure girl who came into this division. Lynch tells Bella not to talk about her and her husband. Oh, she can talk about her husband all she wants. Oh, you think she's out? Oh, what's the matter, Becky? You think Nikki Bella's way out of line? Too bad. You think she's way out of line? Too bad. They are the greatest wrestling couple of all time. And no, you're not the greatest wrestling couple. You're the most arrogant wrestling couple of all time. And at that point, they wouldn't have been huge. And Lynch stops and says, "You can't see him no more." That got a huge reaction. Holy shit! Chant picks up. Oh, he's probably talking about. Oh, you're talking about a dude. She pulled a John Cena. You pulling to a John Cena on Becky Lynch. The whole shit chant picks up. Lynch says when she came up to combat Bella's era. Bella shouldn't talk about how Lynch handles her era. Bella says Lynch was too scared to face her in this era. In this era. Bella challenges Lynch to put her women's Intercontinental Championship on the line against her. Bella gets a yes chant. Referring to husband, Daniel Bryan. Yes, 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 yes. Yes chant going. Lynch says they would never went one-on-one because Lynch punches her down and leaves the ring. Lynch is furious. Yeah, I bet I know some some of you Becky Lynch lovers like what Becky did because she had to put her foot in her mouth. Too bad. It was too bad for Becky, isn't it? They're never gonna drop that title on Becky Lynch. They put that title on Nikki Bella because I don't know. I mean, they're just gonna have her act like a slut and stuff like that. I mean, she already got. I mean, first she got attacked by Liv Morgan, who's injured, and now she just got attacked by Becky Lynch. That's unbelievable. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, non-title match. Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dominant versus Dragon Lee. Referee's Daniel Field. The bell rings and Mysterio slaps him and fights back. The bell rings and Mysterio slaps him. Lee fights back with some punches and clotheslines him over the top rope. Lee hits the ropes and hits a suicide dive. Lee stands on a barricade and poses. Lee punches him and sends him into the ring. Mysterio stumbles in the corner, so Lee punches him there. Lee hits the 10 punches and Mysterio is out on his feet. Lee hitboxes a boot and chops the chest. Lee punches him down and hits a running kick. Mysterio slaps him off the top rope. Lee falls to the floor. Mysterio goes to the outside and chops the chest before rolling him into the ring. Mysterio hits a slingshot senton bomb and hits for a 2 count. Mysterio chokes Lee in the middle rope and goes for a 619, but Lee moves. Lee and Mysterio exchange strikes before Lee knocks him into the apron. Lee goes to the apron and blocks an attack from Mysterio. Lee lifts him, but Mysterio slides off and hits a DDT on the apron. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Lee elbows and kicks Mysterio back. Lee hits a running kick and sweeps the feet and hits a slingshot basement corner drop kick. Lee hits the ropes. Lee hits a flying forearm for a 2 count. Lee goes for a power bomb. Mysterio fights out. Mysterio clutches the wrist and swings boards off the top rope. Lee kicks him out of the midair before hitting a sit-out power bomb. 1-2, Mysterio kicks out. Lee sizes up Mysterio up and heads to the top rope. Mysterio cuts him off and climbs to the top rope. Lee sweeps the feet. Mysterio tries to hold himself up, so Lee crushes him with a double stomp to the chest. El Grande Americano runs down to ringside to taunt Lee. Another El Grande Americano runs over and gets on the apron. Lee knocks the second one off the rope. El Grande in the third El Grande Americano gets on the apron. American 3 punches Lee back. Mysterio boots Lee in the back of the head and picks up the win. Winning by pinfall, Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum. AJ Styles runs down the ring. Mysterio tries to hit him with his boot like he did last night at Summer Scam, but Styles ducks. Mysterio retreats from the ring and trips as Styles throws his boot at him. Mysterio backs up the ramp as Styles checks on Lee. Backstage interview. Jackie Redman is backstage with Sammy and asks how it felt to prove Karrion Kross was wrong. Sang says it's not about proving people wrong. People would have liked to have seen him use the pipe, but he chose not to. It would have felt good to use that pipe, but not who he is. This is about who he wants to be. Sang wants to be a world champion. He would do it, but he wants to do it right away. Karrion Kross is in his rearview mirror. All of a sudden, Sheamus at ringside, Rusev bump into him and say continue to brawl. Singh catches a straight shot. WWE officials pull everyone apart. Oh, wait a minute. I just read this already. What am I talking about? Sorry. Backstage interview. Brian Saxton's backstage with WWE Women's World Champion Naomi. Saxton called her shot and beat Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. How does she feel about her win? Naomi says she feels great. Yeah, whatever. She warned everyone not to be shocked who she leaves SummerSlam with her title. She next week on Raw she will defend her title against Io Sky. Stephanie Vaquera walks up to and says that regardless of whether Naomi and Io Sky the title will belong to her in the Clash in the Pairs. Naomi says it will be her at Clash in the Pairs. She'll take Vaquera's horns and shove them so far up her behind she'll walk with a limp. And Naomi cackles and leaves. Whatever, Naomi. Whatever. You think you can intimidate everybody? You're bullying ass out of here. She thinks she can intimidate with her caution games, like she a damn bully. Shots of Gunther being busted open at SummerSlam 2012 are shown. Gunther broke his nose and will be out action indefinitely. Undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment the undisputed world's worst entertainment champion American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will be live on SmackDown this Friday. Next Monday, WWE Raw comes to Quebec City, Quebec. Sami Zayn and Rusev will battle next week. Women's World Champion Naomi will also defend her title against Io Sky. Backstage segment, LA Knight is shown walking backstage. He'll battle Seth the Asshole Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship next. Backstage commercial break. WWE Clash of Paris is coming Sunday, August 31st. Replay: Nikki Bella challenged Becky Lynch for the Women's World for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Nikki Bella Lynch punched Bella down and didn't give her a further answer. Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch is walking backstage before she's confronted by Natty, Mexican Cree, and Akira Tozawa. Natty's upset with what Lynch did. Natty challenged her to a match next week. Lynch agrees, but with Dupree, what Dupree? What are you kidding me with Dupree? What's she gonna do with Dupree? Dupree's confused. I bet she's gonna do something to hurt her. Then we see a World Heavyweight Championship. LA Knight was versus Seth Rollins, champion with Paul Heyman. Referee is Chad Patton. Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed division are banned from ringside. The bell rings and Knight punches Rollins down before punching and stomping him down in the corner. Rollins fights back and stomps Knight down and against the ropes. Rollins wrenches the arm, but Knight reverses a whip and Knight hits a clothesline. Knight connects with a vertical suplex for a 1 count. Knight pulls Rollins up and attacks. Rollins slides out of a slam and goes for a roll up, but Knight holds the ropes. Knight hits a swinging net breaker for a 1 count. Knight boots Rollins in the face and bounces him off the turnbuckle. Knight whips him in the opposite corner and hits a corner clothesline. Knight sends him to the rope top to ropes, but he lowers his head and eats a kick. Rollins charges, but Knight hits him with a back drop over the top rope. Knight goes to outside as Rollins stumbles around ringside. Rollins uses Paul Heyman as a shield. Rollins goes for a cheap shot, but Knight blocks it. Knight bounces Rollins off the commentary table. Rollins fights back and drives him to the apron for sending him to the barricade. Rollins hits a front suplex into the barricade. Rollins gets to the top rope of the barricade and hits a double stomp to the spine. Back from the break, a CM Punk chant breaks out. Rollins gets into ring and mocks CM Punk's GTS taunt. Rollins chops Knight, and Knight fires back with a trio of chops. Knight punches Rollins around the ring, but in the ring, but Rollins kicks him back and goes for a pedigree. Knight counters with a black drop. Rollins ducks a right hand and hits a flatliner into the middle top turnbuckle. Rollins goes to the top rope, but Knight scales to the ropes and hits a suplex. Knight rolls over and covers him with one arm. 1-2 Rollins kicks out. Rollins and Knight exchange punches and chops before Knight clotheslines him. Knight hits a leg sweep before sending him sternum first to the corner. Knight follows up with a net breaker for a 2 count. Heyman looks a little nervous. Knight tries to pull Rollins up, but Rollins hits him with a jawbreaker. Rollins charges, but Knight counters with a power slam. Knight goes for an elbow drop, but Knight gets the knees up. Rollins connects with buckle bomb. Knight avoids a stomp and hits a Vernon Death Valley driver for a near fall. Knight sizes Rollins up for a blunt trauma, but Rollins counters with a roll up for a 2 count. Knight avoids a stomp, so Rollins goes for a pedigree. Knight gets it out of it and hits a DDT. Both men are down before Knight pops up to his feet. Knight goes to the second rope and springs up to the top rope for a diving elbow drop. Knight grabs him for a BFT, but Rollins gets out and leaves the ring. Knight connects with a baseball slide that sends Rollins over the commentary table. Knight goes behind the table and grabs Rollins before bouncing his head off the commentary table. Several times, Knight rolls out of the ring into the referee's count. Rollins grabs Knight. Rollins headbutts him in the groin and gets up. The crowd's quiet. Rollins sends Knight head first into the ring before punching away at him. Rollins has slowed the pace down and gets in the ring to break the referee's count again. Rollins starts to pull the ringside pads back, exposing the concrete floor, the Barclays Center. Rollins drives him head first into the ring post. Rollins grabs his face and says he's going to hurt Knight. Knight will never walk again. Rollins sets up for a stomp on the concrete floor, but CM Punk comes through the crowd and attacks him. Winner by DQ and still World Champion, Seth Shithead Rollins. Punk pounces on Rollins at ringside before chasing him to the ring. Punk punches away at Rollins until Knight pulls him off. Rollins escapes the ring. Knight is furious with Punk. Punk goes after Rollins. Until Braun Breaker crushes him with a spear. Big Bronson Reed attacks Knight before Breaker hits the spear on the floor. They get Knight in the ring. Reed drops an elbow before holding Knight up for a spear from Braun Breaker. Rollins gets in the ring and hits Knight with a stomp. Rollins then sizes up Punk up with a stomp, curb stomp. Rollins grabs the Wwe Raw Championship and poses in the center of the ring. Paul Heyman stands behind him. The Vision is in control. The Vision leaves the ring as Raw goes off the air. Oh wait, Roman's music hits. Heyman looks terrified. Reigns calmly walks out to the stage and hits Reed with a Superman punch. Reigns punches Breaker down and drives him into the steel steps. Rollins stands in the ring with the title and challenges Reigns for the first time since WrestleMania. Rollins and Reigns going at it. Reigns gets in the ring and Rollins rolls out. Breaker goes after Reigns, but Reigns takes him down. Reed tries to rejoin in. Reigns turns him over and mounts him and punches away at him. Rollins then curses Reigns with a stomp. Rollins and Reed hold Reigns up, and Breaker hits the ropes with a wide speed for a spear. Reed then goes to the top rope and hits the OTC with a tsunami. Reed immediately goes back up to the top rope and hits another tsunami. Reed heads to the top rope, and a third time as W officials run down to the ring, and Reed hits Reigns with a third tsunami. Rollins and Raw General Manager and Priest go face to face. Rollins is holding his title up. Reed steals Reigns' sneakers again. The Tribal Chief is at it again. Vision happily poses in the ring. Garbage tonight, man. Garbage. I don't know why. I bet you somehow this is just. I mean, I don't know what's going up in the fall of 2025. Looking up for this. I mean, this is bullshit. And I mean, Triple H is a bad booker, man. Bad CEO. I mean, I bet you somehow they're gonna make he's gonna have everyone's fools buying the Seth Rollins' crap and all this shit, and have Seth bury talent, bury everyone else with that world heavy title. Sometime in the years to come, not in Naomi with that Raw Women's title, and Seth's ginger hair bitch wife Becky Lynch. No offense to the Irish. And Dum Dum with that Intercontinental title. This just crap tonight. Just crap, and we need new CEO. This is really bad booking tonight. Really bad booking. That's all I gotta say. Now I know it's time for. It's time for Justin's It's time for Justin's Talent History, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, all this stuff. All you hear that thing is the thing for Back to the Future star Michael J. Fox. And Christopher Lloyd celebrated his 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025. The movie was released July 3rd, 1985. Let's go to today's from Pro Fight. I already got the Saturday and Sunday covered up. So I can do today is August the 4th. Hold on, I'm gonna get this stupid thing to load. It's 11:57 right now. Just 1 second, everybody. Okay, it's 11:59 right now. Almost 12 o'clock. Okay, Dean Malenko turned 65 today. And Clara Perry, who was appeared at a WrestleMania, was known for "Where's the Beef?" Because I wasn't born age that well, "Where's the Beef" commercials. She turns she would have been she would have been 123 today. Clara Perry, 123. And Frankie Kazarian turns 48 today. Now, yesterday for today, birthdays. Let's see today. Wrestling history for today, August. Man, it's August. Now it's August the 5th. Now it's 12 a.m. You know, time really goes fast. You know. I think there was no Aaron this show Aaron this show like, I think there was no Aaron just repeats and everything of All American Wrestling. I think they're trying to highlight what went down and stuff like that. Now let's go to pop culture for 1995, August the 4th. Okay. Four movies released in theaters on August the 4th. A movie called Babe. One of the best family movies of my favorite movies. Babe, based about the pig, was released. Bushwhack, starring Home Alone's Daniel Stern, was released. Love that movie. Something to Talk About, starring Julius Roberts, Dennis Quaid, Robert Duvall, Academy Award winner, the late Junior Gina Rollins, and Kira Sidgwick from TV show The Closer was released. And Virtuosity, starring Denzel Academy Award winners Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe. Supporting roles in this movie is Kelly Lynch from Roadhouse, Curly Sue, and the Nose to Young Kaylee Cuoco from TV's The Big Bang Theory. Have it on DVD. Some of the seasons. Very good movie. I love that movie. Virtuosity. Let's see. What else? What else? Now let's go to 2005 pop culture. What happened on August the 4th? Yesterday, August the 4th. SmackDown. Okay, August 4, 2005. Peep Show. Christian introduces Rey Mysterio. Then Eddie Guerrero reads a little bedtime story. Then Eddie Guerrero, then Christian attacks a little bedtime story about his son, about Eddie's son, Dum Dum. Now he turned it down 20 years later. He comes in like a snot-nosed little piece of shit. And then Christian attacks Rey Mysterio from behind. And it's assigned to make it be assigned for a match. Christian versus Rey. Rey Mysterio won. Then Eminem and Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro defeat Booker T and Chris Benoit. Then Hierarchy and Wwe Raw defeat Damian Adams and Josh Daniels, and Randy Orton explains about his attack on the Undertaker. Then Undertaker returns and scares Randy Orton. Then we see a little contract signing. Between we see a contract signing between Ray, contract signing between we see a little contract signing between Ray, between Batista and Christian. And what else? Yeah, and Eddie, that's it. Yeah. Now it's time to go to 2015 on WWE Tough Enough. And this was when it's on Tough Enough. August 4th, 2015. Yeah, this is the episode was called Spinning a Yarn. The remaining competitors work together in the ring, showing trainers and judges' ability to work together well with their competition. They also had to work in two teams in the Fireworks Challenge. Primetime players, Derek Young and Titus O'Neil. Yeah, this was the first. Miz replaced. This was this was August the 4th, 2014. Miz still took over Hogan due to his racial slurs, and God bless Hogan by the way. We miss dearly. Then on see what else on Eddie Guerrero told on the episode of SmackDown, August 5th, 2005, Thursday. Eddie Guerrero told Rey Mysterio that he'll wait for Chapter 3 to tell him that be ready for have custody of Dominic, and he'll be a mother of he'll be ready for Chapter custody of Dirty Dum Dum. See, the episode was called Timo and Told Divas. The Divas are in England as Leash Fox is in love with Wade Barrett, and if so, yeah, Alicia's expects her ex-boyfriend may be single again soon and wants to confess her love with him. Meanwhile, Paige is offended by Nikki's classy take on her home turf, and Jonathan takes heat for Eva's business. Then on WWE, on WWE, what was it? WWE main event. I can't start. Terrible show last night, man. I mean, Hulk Hogan just died, and this is what WWE Triple H does. The Big Show defeated Jack Swagger. Lucha Dragons, Kalisto, and Sin Cara defeated the Ascension, Connor and Victor on main event. They was August 4, 2015. And that's it. That'll do for my review. That'll do for everything I got covered. So subscribe to the Godfather Soldiers Slimming. Hit like, make a comment on the video. And hope I have a good night. It's midnight. I'm gonna give me some sleep. It's 12 11 in the morning. And the Godfather Soldiers Slimming. As Late Chair Henry always say, I like to dress like Cheddar Ticker, son like Lionel Richie. James Brown like to get in the hot tub. Gonna be sweat. Gonna be dry. Gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. So hope I have a good morning. It's midnight. I'm out of here. Peace.